Celtic are scouting an exciting Mexican international striker who's on fire this season, and Chris Sutton has just dropped a controversial take on the fan protests. Plus, we've got a major injury update on Kyogo that could see him leaving Birmingham, and Willie Collum is back explaining yet another refereeing decision. It's been a dramatic 24 hours, but first make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thursday night was a sobering one for Celtic, with a heavy 4-1 defeat to Stuttgart, exposing just how far short the side were on the European stage. It was a poor performance across the board, and one that raised uncomfortable questions, particularly at the back. The goalkeeping display did little to help matters, and with errors creeping in over a prolonged period, there will be genuine debate over whether a change is needed when Hibernian visit Parkhead on Sunday. Off the pitch, the mood was understandably flat, but one player believes the schedule itself could work in Celtic's favour. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who is not registered for European competition, watched the defeat from the stands alongside his fiancée Perry Edwards and feels the quick turnaround offers a chance to reset. Speaking afterwards, Oxlade-Chamberlain admitted the situation is difficult, but stressed the importance of moving on quickly. He believes having another game so soon helps stop the disappointment lingering. I think that definitely helps sometimes when you're off the back of a disappointing result, you get the chance to quite quickly put it to bed. So then that's the next challenge, to move forward and bounce back from that. I think it's just being relentless. Every game that comes, you have to have the same mindset, the same energy levels. Different boys can come in and help out, and then it's your job to step up and try and make the difference. It can be hard at times when the games are coming thick and fast, but it can be good as well when you use them in the right way. Get momentum, get used to winning games, hopefully, and things start to flow a bit better. We've got a big enough squad to deal with that. Sunday now feels crucial, not just for points, but for restoring confidence after a bruising European reality check. Now for the main story, as Celtic have been credited with an interest in Mexican international striker Armando Gonzalez. He's bagged 17 goals in 24 games this season and has made 3 appearances for the national side since his debut in November last year. The Hoops moved to bolster their forward line in January by bringing in Tomasz Cvancara on loan with a £7 million option to buy, while Junior Adamu also arrived on a temporary deal. Should Celtic decide to make Adamu's move permanent, the agreed fee stands at £4.3 million for the 24-year-old. Despite that business, reports from Mexico suggest Celtic are already looking further ahead. It is claimed scouts have been dispatched to monitor Gonzalez, the 22-year-old forward who finished last season as the Golden Boot winner in his homeland. His rise has not gone unnoticed elsewhere either, with interest previously linked to Barcelona, while West Ham United have also been credited with keeping tabs on his progress. Gonzalez reportedly turned down a highly lucrative offer from CSKA Moscow last year, making it clear he had no desire to move to Russia, instead holding out for an opportunity in one of Europe's major leagues. The club have shown a willingness to look to the Americas in recent windows, with Julian Araujo already part of the squad and not ruling out a permanent switch to Parkhead at the end of his loan spell. Saraki and Bernabé have moved from the continent to Celtic too. While nothing is advanced at this stage, the noise around Gonzalez suggests he will be one of the more in-demand young forwards on the market. In other news, Kyogo Furuhashi's difficult spell away from Celtic has taken another frustrating turn after the Japanese forward picked up a fresh injury setback, with his Birmingham City future still uncertain before the season is out. Celtic explored the possibility of bringing Kyogo back during the January window as they looked to bolster their attacking options. The club instead moved to land Junior Adamu and Tomasz Cvancara, both of whom have already made an impact with goals, and Kyogo ultimately remained in England. The 30-year-old was keen to stay put at Birmingham City, determined to fight his way back into the picture at St Andrews. For a brief moment, it looked like that decision might pay off when he scored his first league goal for the club on his birthday against Sheffield United. However, that goal remains his only return, and momentum has again stalled. Kyogo has since slipped down the pecking order and is now viewed as a fourth-choice striking option. With that in mind, speculation has grown around a possible move elsewhere, particularly with the Major League Soccer window still open, along with markets in other countries. Those rumours have been fuelled further by Birmingham boss Chris Davies, who confirmed Kyogo has suffered another knock, while stopping short of completely ruling out a potential exit. He's picked up a knock which has set him back again. It's just been a challenging time. There's been talk of that, Kyogo leaving for MLS. From my point of view, this is our squad and this is how it stays. If something there comes up that has to be looked at, then obviously we will respect the player and everything else as we do in open transfer window time. In my mind, we've got our squad. There's 14 games to go and we go for it from here. As a coach and a manager, you need to have empathy to be good at the job. You've got to see how hard it is for players, and the most precious thing for them is game time. I'm fully aware when I'm not giving them enough, and I always try to communicate. In other news, the late challenge on Kieran Tierney that left the defender needing treatment has been explained by the Scottish FA, with refereeing chief Willie Collum insisting the incident did not meet the threshold for a red card. The flashpoint came in the dying moments of Celtic's Scottish Cup tie against Dundee at Celtic Park. Tierney was caught by a high boot from Cameron Congreve, taking studs to the face and prompting immediate concern. As a precaution, the Celtic defender was withdrawn, though tests later confirmed he had not suffered a concussion and he was available again for the midweek league match against Livingston. The incident sparked anger among supporters, many of whom immediately drew comparisons with the red card shown to Yang Hyun-jun at Tynecastle in a previous season for a high boot, an incident some felt involved less force than the challenge on Tierney. In this case, however, only a yellow card was shown. Speaking on Sky Sports, Willie Collum outlined why the refereeing team and VAR concluded a booking was the correct outcome. He said, "Of course you can make a case when there's any contact to the face. That's why the refereeing team really need to analyse this, and the VAR team as well. This is a reckless action for us. Reckless meaning yellow, because it's the top of the boot. But I don't want to say that every time it's the top of the boot, that doesn't endanger the safety, or we would deem it always to be a yellow card. We believe there's enough criteria here to make this challenge reckless. You need to take in all the different concepts or criteria here about speed, intensity, head on to the challenge, running from a distance to get there, not focusing on the ball. But here, I think there's enough for us to say there's a yellow card." Lastly, Chris Sutton has warned that something needs to change at Celtic, insisting ongoing protests are now harming the team rather than helping force improvement. The former striker has never shied away from criticising those in charge, doing so repeatedly long before the season reached its current tipping point. Sutton believes the warning signs have been obvious for some time, pointing to what he sees as a clear regression over the past year. When Celtic faced Stuttgart on Thursday, it was almost a year to the day that Celtic were seconds away from taking Bayern Munich to extra time at the Allianz. Speaking after Thursday night's Europa League clash, Sutton said supporters are fully entitled to their anger, but questioned whether the manner of protest is now counterproductive. Writing in the record, he explained, the supporters have every right to be angry given the massive regression over the past 12 months. I'm not blindly believing in my old manager, yet I understand his frustration the other night. He will have tried to motivate the team to get off to a solid start against Stuttgart, but then the players had to hang around for 5 minutes while the balls were removed from the pitch. It took the atmosphere out of the ground, and it would have been totally deflating for those out there. The delayed kickoff, caused by objects being thrown onto the pitch from the stands, became another flashpoint in the ongoing standoff between sections of the support and Celtic. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.